What's up guys, Phil Schmidt here, getting a look of the 27-inch iMac 5K Retina display. It's got 3.4 gigahertz Core i5 processor with 8 gigabytes of 2400 260 pin DDR4 RAM. Let's get into it. As you can see here, I got the Apple Magic Mouse 2 and the Magic Keyboard. I also have bought the Apple Trackpad, Magic Trackpad 2, and I really love it. I have a MacBook Pro, and the trackpad works really well there, and it works well on the desktop. And I kind of use that more for casual surfing, and I use the mouse for a little more point to click, a little more accessibility if I need it. So let's go look at the back. So here's the back. You can see it's got a little cable management system there. It's just got the power port that you can use, and then it also has a headphone jack for your external speakers that I have, an SD card reader, 4 USB A's 3.0s, and 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, as well as an Ethernet port. It also has built-in Bluetooth, which it uses to connect to the wireless devices, and it has internal Wi-Fi, and it also has built-in speakers that I think are a little bit better upgraded with the speakers that I have now. If you can see the little flap back there, that actually can be removed. That's where the RAM is kept. Now this model, it only goes up to 32 gigabytes of RAM. I have 8 gigs right now, of course, and I might upgrade if I need it. To upgrade the RAM, you need to remove this cable, the power cable. And you'll see in there in the top, there's this slot, this button right here. You see that? That button will open this. Now what you want to do before you do that is you want to set this down on a bed or something that will cushion this, and you set it face down with the screen down on the bed or whatever you want to cushion it with, and you just pop that off and you open it up and you insert your RAM pieces. If you guys want to see that in another video, I'll be happy to show you. Just let me know. You can also see there's the power button right there, and that's on the right side or the left side. Basically, if you look at it from the back, it's on the right, but from the front, it's on the left side, and you just reach around on using your left hand and you push the button to start it up. So let's start up the machine. And I have to turn on the keyboard and the mouse. So the way to do that is it's got a top right corner, and then you just flick that to where it's green, so the keyboard's on now. And I'm gonna turn on the trackpad, and I'll show you with this is the Magic Mouse, and you can turn it on using that right there. You just flick that and it's green and it turns on. Now the one thing I don't like about this, and I like about the other two devices, is the ports are, as you can see, well, let me get that up. You see that? There's the port there, and there's the port there for the trackpad and the keyboard. So you can actually plug them in and charge them and use the devices, but the Magic Mouse, it will not work when you're charging it because it's on the bottom. Very poor design. They should have put it on the side, or probably on the side would be best, but I guess I could have put it on one of the other sides or something. in the front, I mean, and I don't know. Anyways, just not a good idea to put it on the back, but I don't use the mouse much anyways, so it's not a big deal for me, but for others, you know, it could be a big deal. You know, and they're all, you know, like I said, they all are wireless, and they all have internal batteries, so you don't switch them out, you just recharge them, you know, by connecting them. And I don't know how long they last, but it seems like other people are saying they last for up to like a month or so of use. So, you know, just things to keep in mind. Now I've got the computer logged in, and you can see, you know, everything is there. I've got Spotify open, and it's got the nice, beautiful dock down here, which I love. And one thing I don't like, you know, first starting off, the first things to do is you go to open system preferences, and well, the first thing you got to do is connect your devices, and the best way to do that is turn it on and try to use them. If that doesn't work, just take the lightning connector, like there's one right there plugged in, just ready to go, and connect that to the devices, and they will pair immediately. And they're all through Bluetooth. They all pair through Bluetooth. So you can see here, I've got the keyboard and the mouse and the trackpad right now that's connected. You know, so you just make sure that's on. And then if it goes and you put it into sleep, just make sure that you can allow the Bluetooth devices to wake this computer. Make sure that's checked. It was checked by default for me, but I just want to make sure that you have that so you don't have problems in the future. So overall, I will say right off the bat, they function pretty okay. I would say okay, because I probably give them a 3 out of 5 star. You know, they look great, but you know, whenever I put it to sleep, they have a hard time communicating to the iMac, and I have to wirely connect them through a wire just to temporarily restart it, and turn it back on. I've looked on the web. I haven't gotten any headway. If any of you guys watching this has any tricks on how to fix this, please tell me. I've tried unpairing and repairing the devices, and that did not work. So please give me some info if you can. Otherwise, like, they work pretty well. I like it. I really like this keyboard. It feels good. You know, I can type pretty fast. The only thing I don't like about the keyboard is it's not backlit. Now, I'm usually in a lighted area, so it's not a big issue, but yeah. The only thing that lights up on this is the caps lock key, which is, thank God, because then I could know that my caps lock is on. But as you can see, it doesn't light up. But aesthetically, it looks great. Functions pretty good. Just wish that it was backlit and it could connect after a long sleep easily. Same thing with the trackpad and the mouse. Wish they could connect easily after a long sleep. And wish the mouse didn't have a connection to the lightning connector in the computer, lightning to USB-A, so that it could charge and be used at the same time. So you know, it's pretty good. Since I have Spotify open, let's take a look and see how the MacBook sounds without the speakers and its internal speakers. So I just unplugged my external speakers. They sound okay. You know, they kind of lack a little punch, but I mean, heck, what are you gonna do, right? So, you know, let's see, what can we do here? Yeah, let's just play this. So that's... Do you recall not long ago when you walked on the sidewalk and I still remember all we did was care for each other. So that was all the way up, and so it gets reasonably loud. It's loud enough for a small room. If you really want a lot, you know, I would recommend getting some external speakers. I forget what these are. It's a Logitech. I paid like 35 bucks for them, and they just add a little more punch, and it's got its own subwoofer back there. So, you know, so that's just an example of how the punchy the internal speakers are. So let's see, settings. So yeah, I was gonna talked about this earlier, and then I got to the Bluetooth, you know, the first thing you gotta do. So once you have that, you can go to the trackpad and make sure that you've got tap to click and secondary click and scroll and zoom and more gestures. Here is the mouse. So basically point and click, you know, I always need the secondary click so I can not have to use the control click, you know, if I remember right, and do a right click basically. So I can just do the secondary click on the right side, and then you can see on the left side or whatever I want. And then a smart zoom, I don't really do that. But the biggest thing that got to me is the tracking speed. For me, my preferences, I needed to move around in the screen. I mean, this is a 5K Retina display after all, so I needed to be able to move fast. So I just cranked this up, and it'll be really low, like down here or somewhere, you know. And then there's, like I showed you earlier, the more gestures, which is you can do screen apps and switch between pages and stuff, and it works okay, you know. If you can see, you just here, if you you know, do this with 2 fingers, it'll go around. See right there, see, I'll do the 2 fingers. Oh, it's kind of hard to use. I don't really like the mouse that much unless I'm just doing one application at a time, but that's why I really like the trackpad. So what else? You know, you're gonna have to do software updates. I'm sure I had to. You know, there's Siri you can set up, and you know, the mission control, and a lot of things that I haven't really played around with too much. I'm gonna turn the mouse off because I don't need that anymore. And I really like the gestures of the trackpad. So you can see I'm browsing the web here, and I can go to Facebook or Amazon, and it looks really great. You know,
this is the Samsung Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. You're getting an improved camera, better internals, but at the cost of...
So if you see there, it's actually
the S9 looks so much like the Galaxy
4K.
S8 that this is a Galaxy
So
S8.
yeah,
You can't tell.
it actually looks really
we have
good.
the iPhone 10. Now at $1,000.
I know this camera doesn't really do it justice. It's hard to see. You have to go to the store to really check it out. But just go to YouTube and pull up a clip. Unfortunately, I know for sure in the store, I tried it with, I tried to stream a YouTube video that was 4K and on Safari, and Safari didn't have support for it in YouTube anymore. And I was like, oh, you know, that's really not good. So, you know, it is what it is. So, very secure. I also got, this was with a 1 terabyte Fusion drive, which basically has 32 gigs of storage of SSD that the operating system sits on, and it boots up fairly quick. And applications open up pretty quick. you know, I can show you, I've been starting to use pages and numbers, and I'll just do this as a demonstration. So here you go. It already started up in a matter of a couple of seconds. So yes, it's very fluid, very fast, and this is by far one of the best and most brilliant displays I have seen for a computer, and it is LED LCD, so it works really well. Some of my most used applications, I would say, is Chrome, of course. I don't really use Safari. I just do look at Safari for a little bit of compatibility for different websites and stuff if I need it, and Steam to connect with my friends. So I have friends on Steam that get on there to play video games, and I can communicate with them and just switch real quick to my Windows PC and game with them. iMessage to keep up with everybody else. A calculator, of course, pages and numbers, write some documents, and you know, do some spreadsheet stuff. And I do calendar just to keep up with what I got going on. And of course, I got my iTunes music and Spotify and iMovie that I use. Thinking about getting Final Cut Pro. Right now, it's not in my budget, but iMovie does the job so far, and you know, nobody's really complaining directly about my quality from iMovie, and that's pretty much it. You know, we can go through the Launchpad, and it's got other things in there, like for instance, Black Disk Magic right there. That's actually a pretty good benchmark tool for. It's actually my favorite benchmark tool for hard drive, for the hard drive. And don't really use GarageBand that much. I don't really do a lot of editing for I don't do a lot of editing for music, so, and I don't use FaceTime that much. You know, I don't even use Skype that much, honestly. I just call people or text them. So it is what it is. Anyways, this has just been a look and my review with the iMac 27-inch. So the pros are, it's you know, for this model I paid $17.99, and I paid $129 more for the extra trackpad. It was worth it. I got the best bang for my buck. 8 gigs of RAM is a little low. I think I might want to get more RAM later, but for now it's sufficient. So everything works very well. It's very fluid. It starts up very quickly. I don't have any problems other than the cons are, you know, is the keyboard is not backlit, and the trackpad, mouse, and keyboard, all the magic, like Bluetooth, these new ones with a recharge and stuff, they don't connect to the Bluetooth. I don't know if it's this model. I don't know if it's just my computer, but I have a lot of problems with it connecting sometimes when it goes to sleep for a long time. And so now I'm just starting to shut it down until I find a fix for that. And the fact that the mouse has a charging port, lightning port on the bottom. Otherwise, beautiful display, works really well, very secure, looks great, like I said, and even sounds pretty good too. I just add a little bit of bass and a little more punch with the Logitech speakers. So if you guys liked this, please rate, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. If you want to see me open up the iMac drawer and take out some RAM and install some more RAM, let me know. Might do that anyway. If I get more RAM in the future, I probably will do a video on that. And this has been Phil Schmidt, so I'll see you guys in the next one.